Chapter 41. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The recording of the confession is over. The police quickly left the meeting room, using the excuse that the case still needed to be investigated. The two sides resumed the confrontation again, and everyone stared at each other with complicated expressions. Obviously, they could not imagine why the family would be in such a mess. If I am not mistaken, this is your Uncle Gong's work, right? Wei Jiaoyang narrowed his eyes and said in a cold voice, "You and the old man have done a lot of dirty things over the years, and you are so perfect in doing things. I admire you, I admire you. Mr. Wei, do you have any evidence? I can sue you if you talk nonsense." Su Maogong stood solemnly behind Wei Hong, and raised his eyes to warn him. You dare to do it but not to take responsibility, right? Wei Jiaoyang slapped the table and roared, "Don't think I can't see that you, an old man, dare to touch my Wei family. Have you forgotten who gave you a bite of food back then? Ungrateful thing, white-eyed wolf." Wei Hong and Su Maogong looked at each other and laughed at the same time. Look. Wei Hong joked, "Mr. Wei has determined who is a member of the Wei family. I don't know if the old man in heaven will recognize this grandson. If the old man is still alive, he must slap this blind idiot." Su Maogong also shook his head and sneered, "What kind of person is worthy of thinking that he is a member of the Wei family? Any cat or dog wants to take advantage of the old man. People who don't know would think that you gave me a bite of food back then. Oh, Uncle Gong, take it easy. I am the chairman and the top leader now." Wei Hong said sarcastically. Wei Jiaoyang was so angry that he almost fainted on the spot. Du Sihui couldn't help but scold, "Xiaohong, be more respectful, he is still your father. And how did you become like this? You dare to kill people and set fires, are you crazy?" "Mrs. Wei, I didn't do anything." Wei Hong shrugged and said frankly, "Don't frame me. You didn't need evidence to frame me in the Wei family before, but here you need evidence." Du Sihui couldn't help but think of the past. Breaking vases, pushing people downstairs, stealing antiques. No evidence is needed for anything to be framed on Wei Hong. As long as Wei Sheng said a few words of encouragement, he would be punished to kneel and be beaten. I don't know how many scars were beaten all over his body. Now he needs evidence to convict someone for hiring a killer. It's really ridiculous to think about it. When parents can't even do the most basic fairness, don't blame their children for turning their backs on them. We were the ones who let you down before. Du Sihui softened her tone and advised, "But now it's murder and arson. You can't make the same mistake again. Confess. As long as you apologize and promise not to make the same mistake again, we can let it go." "Impossible." Wei Jiaoyang swept the cup to the ground and said angrily, "This matter must be investigated to the end. Today he dared to kill his brothers, and tomorrow he dared to kill his father and mother. This little beast should go to jail to reflect on himself. Mom and Dad, don't quarrel for me." Wei Sheng pretended to be wronged and fanned the flames. "Brother is your only son after all. He wants to kill me just because you love me too much and are jealous. We have to give him a chance to correct his mistakes." For a while, everyone looked at Wei Hong with a hint of disgust, as if he was an unforgivable person. Xia Mo was even more indignant and glared at him, wishing to send him to prison immediately. Wei Hong ignored all of this. He leaned back in his seat and looked at Wei Sheng with a half-smile. Just when this guy was about to be hit by a vehicle, the tire of the dump truck suddenly burst, allowing him to narrowly escape. Anyone who saw this would have to say that he was really lucky. But this kind of good luck clearly consumes luck. The system prompted him and Xia Mo to deduct 320 points of luck respectively, and Wei Hong heard it clearly, although he didn't know what 320 points of luck meant and how valuable it was, but Wei Sheng must have gnashed his teeth and wanted to kill him, and this also gave Wei Hong a handle. The system on this guy is absolutely useless. It can't even predict danger, warn, or save people. It seems that it can't help Wei Sheng much. It can only provide two functions, transmitting thoughts and absorbing luck. Although I can't block the interference system, I still have ways to deal with it, such as frequently causing car accidents and accidents, forcing Wei Xing to consume his luck again and again. When the system can't absorb enough luck, will it automatically collapse? Wei Hong stroked his chin stubble, and the corners of his mouth slowly raised. A pair of eyes seemed to be looking at prey, making everyone in the Wei family couldn't help but sweat. After a long time, the lawyer of Wei Group came back. His eyes were complicated, leaned over and whispered in Wei Jiaoyang's ear, "Mr. Wei, we tried to find someone to pass the message to Li Gui. We offered him 10 times the price and asked him to identify the mastermind, but he still refused." "What?" Wei Jiaoyang was so angry that he slammed the table and almost broke his teeth. He said today that he would send the unfilial son to prison, but who would have thought that the other party didn't even care about 10 times the price? "Mr. Wei, you don't think you can do whatever you want just because you have money, do you?" Wei Hong tapped the table leisurely with his fingers, and said slowly, "Remember. Never underestimate the wisdom of the lower class, they are smarter than you think. 10 birds in the forest are not as good as 1 bird in the hand. Uncle Gong has credibility and prestige in the underworld. What he said is ironclad and he will never regret it. What about you? What do you have? Why should people believe you? You really think that you can make people turn against you by throwing money? Aren't you too naive? Li Gui is afraid that he will get the money but his family will not be able to spend it. As the chairman of the Wei Group, you are still so naive after running a multi-billion-dollar group for so many years. No wonder the old man has always looked down on you, a waste." Wei Jiaoyang was so angry that his heart was heaving, but Wei Hong was too lazy to talk nonsense with him. He got up and led people out the door. When he was about to walk out of the door, he suddenly turned his head to look at Wei Xing, and said with a smile, "I'm lucky today. I hope you will have good luck in the future, otherwise it will be fatal." Son of a bitch. Wei Xing finally couldn't maintain his image, and his cheeks twitched with anger. He never thought that Wei Hong would become so difficult to deal with. In the past, he just slandered him casually, and the Wei family could humiliate and punish him at will, but now Wei Hong went crazy and didn't even give Wei Jiaoyang face. The situation had already developed from the slander of the little girl to the life-and-death struggle between men, and it was completely out of control. "Damn, system, you are a waste, can't you have more functions? The Wei family is so shameless. They keep saying that they treat me as their own son, why don't they give me 10 or 8 bodyguards? Wei Hong, this beast, will kill me sooner or later. No, I must make money as soon as possible, and I also want to hire bodyguards." Wei Xing was secretly anxious. Chapter 42. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At night that I end the WeChat group of a loving family. Wei Jiaoyang edited a long paragraph and posted it solemnly, "At everyone, from today on, Wei Hong will no longer be a descendant of my Wei family. No one is allowed to have private contact with him, otherwise he will be punished by family law." This message immediately made the group boil. Eldest sister Wei Linlang, "Dad, what are you crazy about? Why are you saying such angry words? Xiaoqi is angry with you again, right?" Third sister Wei Chuyan, "No way, no way. He dares to anger our dad. What trouble has he caused again?" Sixth sister Wei Xia, "Xiaoqi has been getting more and more outrageous recently. We are too busy and not at home, so you can't deal with him, right?" Facing the doubts of the daughters. Wei Jiaoyang was too lazy to explain one by one, so he took a photo of today's report receipt and sent it out, and then said, "Wei Hong is jealous of Xiaoxing's love for us, and he has gone so crazy that he hired someone to kill someone. You can handle it yourself." Eldest sister Wei Linlang, "What? How could this happen? How dare he?" Second sister Wei Kailan, "No way, he is so crazy now. Is there something wrong with his brain?" Fifth sister Wei Qingqing, "Impossible, Xiaoqi would never be so excessive, is it a misunderstanding?" Fourth sister Wei Ruyun, "This little beast is simply lawless, tag him out and see if he has anything to explain." Third sister Wei Chuyan, "He is not in this group, why tag him?" The group instantly became quiet. Everyone realized it at this time and felt a little embarrassed. How could a loving family not have Wei Hong? "Du Sihui, did we treat Xiao Hong too harshly?" so we forced him to go astray. Everyone was silent again. Wei Sheng, Mom and Dad, I'm sorry. It's my arrival that has torn this family apart. I shouldn't have come. How about we just end our kinship, so that big brother won't be jealous? Wei Jiaoyang, bullshit. It's not his turn to make the decision in this family. He thinks he can force you away with this method. Dream on. I will never want a ruthless son. Shaoxing, you will always be my son. Du Sihui, that's right, Shaoxing, don't think too much. Eldest sister Wei Linlang, yes, blood relationship is not the most important, character and morality are. If he dares to hire a killer to kill his brother today, he will dare to kill us tomorrow. Fourth sister Wei Ruyan, Shaoxing is already very pitiful, and Wei Hong still refuses to let him go. This is too much. Second sister Wei Kailan, that's right, if you do something wrong, you must be punished. Even if you don't drive him out of the house, you have to ignore him for a while. The Wei family members spoke one after another. Finally, a unanimous decision was reached quickly. They must protect Wei Sheng and never let him get into trouble. Eldest sister Wei Linlang, Mom and Dad, send a few bodyguards to Shaoxing. No matter he is at home or out, he must be protected 24 hours a day. Second sister Wei Kailan, yes, if Wei Hong really hired someone to kill someone, then he must be mentally abnormal. He would not hesitate to kill even his relatives. We can't take him lightly anymore. Fourth sister Wei Ruyan, yes, we must send bodyguards to Shaoxing. If he dares to do it once, he will dare to do it again. Wei Jiaoyang, okay, I will transfer a few people from my side to protect him, don't worry. Inside the villa, Wei Sheng took a sip of red wine, his face full of mockery. The Wei family is still as stupid and gullible as ever. Just a few words can make Wei Hong deserted by his friends and relatives. Haha, ridiculous, ridiculous. It must be uncomfortable for no one to believe in you, right? No wonder he is desperate to hire someone to kill someone. But the few bodyguards sent by Wei's father alone are not enough to guarantee my safety. Wei Hong has the help of an old fox like Su Maogong, and all kinds of people from all walks of life emerge in an endless stream. It won't be too difficult to kill me. Today I was lucky enough to escape the car accident, but what if it happens a few more times? My luck is exhausted, and I will eventually die in his hands. No, I have to make money too. As long as I have money, I can find dozens of bodyguards to protect me 24 hours a day. How can I be so passive? The more Wei Sheng thought about it, the more he was dissatisfied. Why did Wei Hong have everything since he was born? Why did someone buy a bulletproof car and bodyguards as soon as he gave an order? If he wanted to hire someone to kill someone, someone would do it for him. And he could only passively suffer attacks. In the end, it's just about money. If he had money, why would he feel so bad? Whether it was paying off Xia's father's gambling debts or being almost killed, Wei Sheng deeply realized one thing: he was too short of money. But how can I make money quickly? Lottery? No, I buy lottery tickets too frequently and it will easily attract the attention of those who are interested. Wei Sheng frowned and analyzed. If you want to make money through luck, it seems that you can only go through gambling on stones, the stock market, and funds. Unfortunately, he has no capital. I just borrowed a few million from a friend today. It would not be good to ask for more money. After all, the rich second generation in the circle also spend a lot of money, and people can't lend him too much money. After thinking about it, Wei Sheng found Wei Linlang in the WeChat list and sent a message directly. Sister, have you been speculating in stocks recently? Wei Linlang, of course, I manage my assets myself. Wei Sheng, I suddenly found that I have very good luck. I have won several big prizes recently. I tried to buy stocks and everything I bought rose. Unfortunately, I don't have the capital. Wei Linlang, this is a good thing. Are you looking for me to borrow money? Wei Sheng, no, I want to cooperate with you, sister. Make money by investing. You pay the principal and I invest. We will share the profits in half. What do you think? Wei Lin Lang. Wei Sheng, sister, if you don't trust me, you can play with a few million first. If you lose, I will compensate you. Wei Lin Lang, okay, I will send you the private stock account later. There is not much money in it, only about 30 or 40 million. You can play with it yourself. It doesn't matter even if you lose it all. Wei Sheng, great, thank you, sister. Put down the phone. Wei Sheng was so excited that he almost laughed out loud. 30 or 40 million may not be a lot of money for the rich, but for him, it is definitely a huge sum he has never seen in his life. Now he can get it just by opening his mouth. It feels great to have someone as a backer, buy stocks with his current luck. Even if you buy with your eyes closed in a bear market, you can buy the daily limit, 30 or 40 million in your hands. It won't take long to make a lot of money, right? There is a widely circulated saying in the stock market. Theoretically, if you catch the daily limit 100 times, your principal can be multiplied 10,000 times. Isn't this more profitable than buying lottery tickets? When I make money, I will make Wei Hong, that bastard, look bad. Wei Sheng sneered confidently. Chapter 45. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Early in the morning, Wei Hong and Wei Sheng arrived at the school one after the other again. Wei Hong was still escorted by 3 Bentley Mulsanne bulletproof cars, 2 off-road Hummers, and 2 groups of bodyguards with 12 people. His appearance was more domineering than that of a leader. Wei Sheng was riding in a Mercedes-Benz. In addition to the driver Xiao Wu picking him up, there were also 2 more bodyguards in the car. He looked less shabby than before, but people are afraid of comparison. When he stood with Wei Hong, one was like a spirited young man whose hair had not yet grown, and the other was like a noble young man who was intimidating without anger. The 2 sides were not at the same level at all. Every time Wei Sheng couldn't help but feel inferior, but today, the 2 had just got off the car. A few ghost fires roared from the school gate. The bodyguards subconsciously became alert. When the ghost fires approached, they saw that there were several boys and girls with red, green and blue hair sitting in the car. They were wanton and exaggerated. It was out of tune with the rich second generation and nerds in Xingrui High School. It immediately attracted the attention of countless people. The ghost fire boys and girls made strange sounds, and the car circled around for several times before finally stopping in front of everyone. A red-haired girl in leather jacket and leather pants took off her helmet. Is it you? Wei Sheng's eyes lit up and he recognized the person. Nie Qinglan smiled, and the 2 looked at each other as if they were destined to meet. The eyes were faintly drawn, and even a fool could see that they knew each other. My lifesaver, I didn't have time to thank you last time. She smiled and stepped forward, extending her hand, saying, My name is Nie Qinglan, I just transferred to Xingrui High School today, and I will protect you in the future. Hello, classmate Nie, my name is Wei Sheng. The 2 shook hands. Wei Sheng seemed to have suddenly thought of something. He looked at the other person's smiling face in shock, and couldn't help but secretly took a breath of cold air. Obviously, he had recognized that this was the daughter of the underworld that many rich second generations avoided like snakes and scorpions, thinking that he was her savior. Wei Sheng couldn't help but be ecstatic, and his expression management was almost out of control. I didn't expect that a lucky person who I saved casually would have such an identity. I said, how can ordinary people have so much luck? A true voice that only Wei Hong could hear rang out. The next moment, Wei Sheng gathered his mind and began to output a false voice to Nie Qinglan. Wow, she is so beautiful, like a fairy. Oh my god, how can she look like this? How can she be so beautiful? She seems to be that powerful underworld daughter. She wants to protect me, so does that mean that big brother can't bully me? A series of rainbow farts were output. Nie Qinglan's pretty face suddenly turned red. At the same time, she believed in his heart, thinking of Wei Sheng being bullied for a long time. She couldn't help but spit fire in her eyes. Turning her head, she looked at Wei Hong, who was surrounded by bodyguards, fiercely, with a strong warning in her eyes. Wei Xiaoqi, this is my man. Nie Qinglan said coldly, you'd better be respectful. If I find you touching him again in the future, I promise to make you live a life worse than death. Oh, Wei Hong scratched his ears. he didn't take this kind of ridiculous warning like a primary school student to heart. He naturally knew Nie Qinglan, this crazy woman. Both families developed in the territory of Jiangzhou City. They met each other every day. Although they were not very familiar, they could be regarded as nodding acquaintances. The other party called Wei Xiaoqi as soon as she opened her mouth, obviously with contempt and provocation. In addition, this crazy woman had tripped him up a lot in his previous life. Wei Hong naturally had no good feelings towards her, and immediately retorted, "Miss Nie wants to show off, did you find the wrong place? Do you really think I am someone you can deal with at will? A waste that is not valued by the Wei family, why can't I deal with you?" Nie Qinglan sneered, her red lips raised in contempt, "Even if I touch you, the Wei family will not stand up for you, do you believe it?" "I believe it, of course I believe it." Wei Hong laughed and shook his head. "I don't want to talk nonsense with such a retard. If he relied on the Wei family to be so rampant, I don't know what he would have been dealt with. It's really stupid that he can't even understand this. This kind of person is not even qualified to be his opponent. Make way, a good dog doesn't block the road." Wei Hong waved his hand casually, and the bodyguards immediately stepped forward to clear the way. The energetic young men and girls were immediately stopped aside, and no one, even Nie Qinglan, gave her any face. "Sister Lan Lan, let big brother go first." Wei Shen carefully pulled her aside, and on the surface he was persuading her, but secretly he was fanning the flames and said, "Alas! Sister Lan Lan doesn't understand at all. Big brother doesn't even give face to our parents, so how can he care about such a warning? In this day and age, whoever has the bigger fist is the boss. It seems I'm still going to get beaten." "Stop!" Nie Qinglan was furious when she heard this. She pushed the bodyguard away and walked up to him, sneering and provocative. "Did this lady let you go? What else do you want to say?" Wei Hong was impatient. "I want you to listen carefully." Nie Qinglan poked his shoulder with her finger and warned him word by word, "From now on, if Wei Xing makes any mistakes, no matter if it's you who did it or not, I will make you live a life worse than death. Do you understand?" "Oh." Wei Hong laughed instead of getting angry. "So unreasonable, it seems that Miss Nie wants to find a bodyguard and nanny for Wei Xing." "Yes." Nie Qinglan said unreasonably, "This lady is reasonable. If you don't want to get into trouble, not only can you not touch him, but you have to hold him in your arms and protect him. If anything happens to him, I will hold you responsible." "Sister Lan Lan, don't say that." Wei Xing couldn't hide his pride in his eyes, but deliberately came forward to add fuel to the fire and said, "Big brother treats me very well. Even if my parents don't like big brother, you can't bully him like this." He. Wei Hong smiled and pouted his cheek, took out his mobile phone and dialed a number, and then chose to speak out loud. After a while, a deep and majestic voice came from the other side of the phone. "Hello, who is this?" "Uncle Nie, this is Wei Hong." "Wei Hong." The other side was stunned for a while, then suddenly said, "Oh, I was wondering who it was. It turned out to be nephew Wei. You want to talk to me about something?" "Nothing." Wei Hong didn't give any face at all, and said coldly, "You have a dog at home without a rope, let it out to bite people everywhere, do you care or not? You are looking for death." Nie Qinglan was so angry that he cursed. The other side of the phone was silent for a long time, and obviously understood the general situation. Although he didn't know why the two juniors quarreled, Wei Hong kept saying that he treated Nie Qinglan as a dog, and the other party was also very unhappy. Nephew Wei has a very hot temper. It's not good for young people to be too angry. It's easy to suffer. The voice came out coldly from the phone. "Don't worry about it, Uncle Nie." Wei Hong curled his lips and warned, "I have a naturally bad temper. If your dog is out of control, I don't mind helping you take care of it." "Okay, thank you for your help, nephew." There was a hint of teasing in the other party's words. "Okay." Wei Hong said no more and hung up the phone directly. Nie Xinyuan doesn't care about this crazy daughter, right? Okay, then play slowly. Chapter 46. You are listening at novelfull.audio. "Boss, Uncle Gong is calling." In the morning, Wei Hong was reading and doing homework in the competition class. The female bodyguard handed him a mobile phone, on which was Su Maogong's call interface. "Hello, Uncle Gong, what's up?" Wei Hong walked out of the classroom and answered the phone in the corridor. Su Maogong's worried voice came, "Master, did you offend Nie Xingyuan and his daughter?" "Not offending, they took the initiative to come to me." Wei Hong chuckled, his eyes cold. "Nie Qinglan, this crazy woman likes Wei Sheng, and took the initiative to trouble me. Her father not only did not stop her but was willing to indulge her. Of course, I will not give her face." This. Su Maogong's voice hesitated for a moment. Even though he was knowledgeable, he didn't know what to do at this moment. Although he had some thin faces in both the black and white worlds, and had some connections under his hands, he was still not as good as Nie Xingyuan, who was a hegemon in the underworld. People gave him face and called him Uncle Gong. If he doesn't give face, even Su Maogong himself will have to bow his head. Wei Hong, a young and brave man, dared to confront him directly. I don't know whether to say he is courageous or brainless. "Master, how about I shamelessly set up 2 tables?" Su Maogong smiled bitterly. "Maybe he is willing to reconcile for my sake. If it doesn't work, I will find some connections to be a lobbyist. I called his daughter a dog, and you can also talk about peace?" Wei Hong asked with a smile. "Hiss." Su Maogong took a breath and said in a trembling voice, "Don't joke, it will kill people." "No joke." Wei Hong said seriously, "Reconciliation is impossible. If you are afraid, you might as well hide outside for a while." "I'm not afraid of shit." Su Maogong said dissatisfiedly, "At my age, it's worth it even if I die, but if something happens to you, how can I be worthy of the old man's spirit in heaven? Why don't you go out and hide?" "No need." Wei Hong smiled indifferently. Nie Xingyuan won't live too long. Su Maogong was speechless again when he heard this. He has been entrenched in Jiangzhou city for so long without any trouble. He has been fighting against gangs and evil every year and is still unmoved. It's not so easy to kill him. He has a huge network of connections. "Be careful, I will solve this matter." Wei Hong didn't explain too much, but hung up the phone after giving 2 instructions. He could feel Su Maogong's uneasiness. After all, facing Nie Xingyuan, who was like a mad dog, no matter how much money and power he had, it was useless. He was fully capable of making anyone in Jiangzhou city disappear from the face of the earth easily. Even with bodyguards protecting him, he might not be 100% safe. And he didn't know that Wei Hong was not afraid of him, because he knew that Jiangzhou city would soon usher in a major reshuffle, and there would be significant changes in politics, business, and both the black and white worlds. In his previous life, Nie Xingyuan had an accident 2 years later. No matter how powerful the underworld overlord was, he was nothing in front of the state machine. When the umbrella of protection was torn to pieces, only execution was waiting for him. Wei Hong clearly remembered the many crimes and evidence disclosed by the media after the other party's accident. If Nie Xingyuan and his daughter really wanted to die, he didn't mind giving them a little push to make them unlucky faster. "Senior, it's bad, Senior." At this time, a flat-headed boy ran anxiously from the corridor. Wei Hong frowned and looked over. He found that it was a student from the competition class. He couldn't help but ask in surprise, "What's going on?" Song Gui and others were blocked in the toilet. The flat-headed boy said breathlessly. "Where are they? Take me there." Wei Hong didn't say much nonsense. He followed with a cold face. It was clear without much nonsense that Nie Qinglan must be causing trouble. This crazy woman often bullied people in number 13 middle school. She used cigarette butts to burn people, forced people to drink urine, beat them, shaved their heads, and other means when she was unhappy with them. She was simply endless. She once forced people to jump off the building. She was completely a gangster, but she had a deep background, and no matter how big the incident was, someone would cover it. This also made her develop a lawless temperament. Since they had a quarrel in the parking lot in the morning, she naturally couldn't let it go. But Wei Hong never thought that she didn't attack him, but other students in the competition class, when he rushed to the toilet at the end of the corridor. He saw that the corridor was already full of people. including Ji Peng, Xia Sisi, Wei Sheng and others, all of whom were watching the show with a playful look on their faces, in the men's toilet. Nie Qinglan brought a few spirited young men and made Song Gui and 3 other boys from the competition class kneel on the ground, then took turns slapping and kicking them, with such ruthless methods that it was amazing. 2 of the boys kept screaming and wailing. Song Gui was tough and kept silent, but the more he did this, the more bullying he suffered. When Wei Hong pushed the crowd aside and rushed over, a spirited young man was taking a puff of cigarette and was about to press the scarlet cigarette butt on him. Try to burn him. Do you believe that I will kill your whole family? Wei Hong spoke coldly, and the spirited young man's face froze immediately. Brother, don't be impulsive. Wei Xing said in a teasing manner, Sister Lan Lan is just joking with them. You can't protect them 24 hours a day, right? You should calm down. It's good that she has vented her anger. Pa! Wei Hong interrupted his output with a slap. The guy's cheek was immediately swollen from the slap. Damn, Wei Hong, are you crazy? Xiaoxing just gave a few words of advice, why did you hit him? Ji Peng was so angry that he jumped up and down. Ha, you bully the weak and fear the strong. Xia Sisi quickly stood in front of Wei Sheng and said coldly, you don't have the ability to provoke Sister Lan Lan, so you only dare to bully your own people, right? Nie Qinglan's face was even colder, and she said word by word, if you don't want your hand, I can help you chop it off. Ha ha ha. Wei Hong ignored the others, but stared at her and said jokingly, what? You don't dare to touch me, and you only dare to bully the classmates around me? It turns out that Miss Nye is just a coward. Why are you in such a hurry? It will be your turn soon. Nie Qinglan had a defiant look on her face. She blew out a smoke ring charmingly before saying, not only will I kill you, but I will also make everyone around you collapse. I will let you know who you can and cannot offend. Do you understand? Okay, okay. Wei Hong shrugged and stretched his neck before saying, I wanted to play slowly, but since Miss Nye likes to bully, I can accompany you for a while. After saying that, he rushed out like a tiger out of the gate. His fists were as fierce as cannonballs. He punched these spirited guys in the face one after another. Bang, bang, bang. In an instant, several muffled groans were accompanied by screams, several spirited guys were knocked unconscious by his heavy punches, their faces were covered with blood and flesh, and some unlucky guys even had their noses collapsed and their teeth were broken all over the floor. The men's bathroom was suddenly filled with blood, there were bursts of gasps in the crowd. Chapter 47. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In a flash. The situation was reversed. Wei Hong was not a weakling, he had learned various fighting techniques since he was young and practiced every day. Although he was not as good as the top boxers, he was still as good as the top boxers in the country. It was okay for a few spirited young men to bully ordinary people. It was their bad luck to meet a master like him. Basically, he could beat them with one punch. If Wei Hong had not held back, most of these people would have been paralyzed in bed for the rest of their lives. My goodness, young Master Wei is so powerful. He started fighting just because he didn't agree with me. Oh my God, such a heavy punch. I'm afraid even my bodyguards may not be able to punch with such a strong punch. Oh my God, he is so powerful. Everyone took a breath. Wei Xing was so scared that his face turned pale, only then did he realize that the other person had held back just now, otherwise a slap would have given him a concussion. Okay, okay. You still dare to attack me? You're looking for death. Nie Qinglan was furious when she saw this. She was not a weak woman, she grew up in a gangster family atmosphere, she was also very interested in fighting, and her biggest hobby every day was boxing and sanda, now seeing Wei Hong's domineering attack. She was so angry that she spit out the cigarette and kicked him fiercely. Bang, 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 the two of them exchanged fists and feet, they fought wildly in this small toilet. Song Gui and others were so scared that they tried their best to hide in the toilet cubicle, fearing that they would be affected by the disaster if they were not careful. The punches and kicks of this Sanda master were not something that ordinary people could withstand. the corridor was already surrounded by classmates at this time. Everyone watched the fight in shock, and everyone's eyes were full of yearning. However, this kind of fighting did not last long. In just 7 or 8 seconds, the two exchanged 17 moves, and Nie Qinglan was kicked in the calf. She knelt down with a groan. Waste! Wei Hong sneered and rushed forward. Muay Thai elbows and knees followed her crazily. Nie Qinglan was immediately stretched to the limit and defended awkwardly. After a few more punches, she was blown away and hit the toilet wall on the spot. She groaned and almost vomited blood. That's it. Wei Hong did not give her a chance to breathe. He kicked her twice and she was dizzy and lost her resistance. At this time, Wei Sheng and others came back to their senses, and they gasped in shock. Xia Sisi couldn't help but exclaimed, "Stop, don't hurt Lan Lan. Why didn't you shout to stop when she ordered her younger brother to bully others just now?" Wei Hong looked back with disgust and asked coldly, "Don't tell me I didn't see it." Me? Xia Sisi's face flushed slightly, and she didn't know what to say for a long time. Wei Sheng said shamelessly, "Brother, don't be like this, Sister Lan Lan was just joking with them just now." "Okay, I'll joke with her too." Wei Hong grabbed her hair and slammed her against the wall viciously. Bang bang twice. Nie Qinglan screamed immediately. The back of her head was also bleeding, and she looked extremely miserable. "Are you crazy?" Wei Sheng couldn't help but exclaimed. "Don't talk nonsense. If she dares to bully others, I dare to fight back with the same means." Wei Hong sneered and raised his hand and pointed. "You want to save her, right? Come on, kneel down and count out 3 times and I will let her go." Wei Sheng was stunned, and the others were also dumbfounded. "If not you, then who is it?" Wei Hong sneered, "This matter started because of you. You won't watch your friend who stood up for you get beaten up." Wei Sheng immediately understood his plan after hearing this. If he agreed, he would have to kneel on the ground and be humiliated, but if he refused, the image he usually created would collapse, and everyone would think he was an ungrateful person, and even Nie Qinglan might feel resentful. No matter what, he would suffer a great loss. Wei Hong, this guy, is really vicious. Shaoxing, don't kneel, I will call someone to save Sister Lan Lan right away. Xia Sisi persuaded anxiously. Nie Qinglan also shook her head weakly. No, I'm fine. He doesn't dare to do anything to me. Really? Wei Hong grabbed her head and grinned. If you don't kneel down after I count 10 times, I will push her head into the urinal. 10. 9. 8. 7. Counting down, everyone was dumbfounded and doubted their ears. He wanted to put Miss Nie's head into the urinal. Is this a brain attack? Does he really think that anyone can bully her? Does he know the consequences of doing so? Woo woo woo. Wei Sheng kept thinking, what should I do? Should I kneel down? If I kneel down, my parents will definitely be very disappointed with me. That I am afraid that I will be kicked out of the house if I don't kneel. I think I have lost the Wei family. I am afraid that I will be kicked out of the house. But if I don't kneel, will I have to watch Sister Lan Lan being humiliated like this? What if she can't raise her head in this life? Forget it, I have to save Sister Lan Lan even if I am kicked out of the house. I will risk it. After his performance, he was determined to kneel down. Nie Qinglan was immediately moved and angry, and growled, "Don't kneel, he scared you, he doesn't dare to do this to me." Really? 3:21, time is up. Wei Hong didn't say another word. He pulled her hair with his hand and pressed it hard into the urinal. No. Woo woo woo. In full view of the public. Nie Qinglan finally let out a shrill scream. The next moment, the scream turned into sobbing. There was still a lot of yellow-brown liquid in the urinal. Her originally smooth and delicate face and well-maintained hair were in close contact with them, in an instant. The foul smell rushed straight to the tip of her nose. Nie Qinglan almost vomited while screaming. This scene completely frightened Jipeng, Xia Sisi and others. They all looked at Wei Hong with the eyes of a mad dog, and there was only one thought in their minds: how dare he? Even Jipeng would not dare to do this, right? When has Nie Qinglan, the eldest lady, ever suffered such anger. Once she retaliates, even the Wei family will be in trouble. Crazy, this guy is really crazy. Damn, Miss Nya was pushed into the urinal. If this gets out, the entire upper class in Jiangzhou will be in an uproar, right? Mr. Nya dotes on his daughter the most in his life. If he, a daughter slave, knew about this, he would cut Wei Hong into pieces. Everyone was shocked and talked about it. To sum it up, there is only one sentence: he is going to be unlucky. Dare to do this to Nye Qinglan, it is even more embarrassing than castrating Nye Xingyuan in public. If the Nye family does not do something, they will become the laughing stock of the whole city. How can they survive in this small piece of land in the future? Brother, stop it. Wei Xing shouted anxiously, do you want to bring disaster to the Wei family? Let Sister Lan Lan go quickly, or no one can save you. You don't want to bear the wrath of Master Nya, do you? Bullshit Master Nya, anyone who dares to mess with me will have to drink urine. Wei Hong took out his mobile phone with an expressionless face and decisively took a few close-up photos of Nye Qinglan. Chapter 48. You are listening at novelfull.audio. East of the city, Jianyan Haoting Villa District. Nye Xingyuan was wearing a white sportswear and waving a golf club in his hand. Although he was smiling, he also had a dignified aura. Not far away, more than a dozen bodyguards were on guard and patrolling. Several young and beautiful girls were ready to serve at any time, acting like successful businessmen. Suddenly, the phone in his pocket rang. Nye Xingyuan casually opened WeChat and found that it was a friend request from Wei Hong. This guy, is he trying to make peace? Forget it, I was going to teach him a lesson. Since he took the initiative to make peace, I'll do it for the sake of his dead grandfather. As long as he sincerely apologizes to Lan Lan, I can forgive him once. Nye Xingyuan smiled slightly. As he got older, he gradually began to restrain his edge. He was no longer as hot-blooded as when he was young, and occasionally he was willing to forgive others, so he quickly passed Wei Hong's friend's application, and wanted to see how the other party apologized. As the next moment, a few photos were sent over. Then, a voice came over. Wei Hong, old dog, I said that if your dog cub is not good, I will control it for you, don't thank you. How did Wei Hong dare to bully others? Boy, I want you dead. Nye Xingyuan pressed the phone and roared hysterically, scaring the waiters and bodyguards around him, wondering who was so capable that he could make him so angry, when you get older. Nye Xingyuan pays great attention to health preservation. He usually doesn't have much emotional fluctuations in big and small things. This kind of rage may be the first time in more than 10 years. Let her go immediately. Nye Xingyuan continued to send voice messages, gritting his teeth and roaring, if my daughter loses half a hair, I will cut you into pieces. What, you want her to drink 2 more kilograms of urine? Wei Hong quickly replied, okay Uncle Nye, I will definitely meet your request. Fuck you. You little beast, I will kill you. Just wait, fuck. Nye Xingyuan has never been so angry in his life. He kicked over the golf cart next to him in a rage, but when he sent another message, he saw that he had been blocked. Nye Xingyuan was breathing heavily, and his anger was about to explode. Prepare the car immediately, we are going to number 13 middle school. Nye Xingyuan roared. Sorry, Master Nye, the young lady is not in number 13 middle school. A short-haired young man reminded calmly, she transferred to Xingrui High School. Xingrui? Nye Xingyuan frowned and asked back, where is she going? It seems to be for the life-saving benefactor I found before. The short-haired young man answered concisely, I just went to Xingrui to report this morning, and this happened. Okay. Nye Xingyuan didn't understand what happened. It must be that his silly daughter was used as a gun by someone, and ended up running into Wei Hong, the mad dog. Others might give him Nye Xingyuan a little face. But Wei Hong didn't give it, so his daughter was in trouble. Prepare the car, go to Xingrui. Nye Xingyuan rubbed his brow helplessly. Upon hearing this, the short-haired young man immediately waved his hand and asked the bodyguard to prepare the car. At the same time, he followed him out of the golf course and asked as he walked, "Do you want to call someone?" "Who?" Nie Xingyuan was stunned. "Aren't you going to kill this guy?" The crew-haired young man frowned and said, "He has a lot of bodyguards around him. If we want to take him away, we may have to bring more people with us." "You are fucking sick, aren't you?" Nie Xingyuan scolded angrily. "You rushed into the school with a bunch of people in public, ready to fight with others and then forcibly kidnap him. Do you really think I can cover the sky with one hand? This is a society ruled by law. Use your brain when doing things. What's wrong with a society ruled by law?" The crew-haired young man sneered and said, "I will personally lead people to do the work, and then I will go to the kiln to work. I promise not to cause any trouble to you, Master Nye. You and the young lady are like family to me. Now is the time for me to repay you. If the young lady insults me, I will die. This revenge must be avenged." Nie Xingyuan was silent for a long time. In the end, he just shook his head and said nothing more. From him and Wei Hong, this tyrant recalled the days of fighting and killing when he was young. He was also so crazy and reckless. Maybe this is the youthful vigor. I must persuade Qinglan in the future not to do too much outside. Nie Xingyuan murmured in his heart, young people nowadays are simply lawless when they go crazy, and honest people will explode when they are pushed to the limit. The older you are, the softer your heart is. Nie Xingyuan is no longer a barefoot poor man, and he dares to risk his life for his future. Now that he is nearly 50 years old, his heart has long been corrupted by money and power. He only hopes that his family will be safe and smooth. Who knows that he has inexplicably offended Wei Hong, a young man. No matter what, this kid must die. Retire from the world after solving this list of things. Young people nowadays are not to be messed with. Nie Xingyuan sat in a Bentley and headed toward Xingrui High School with a group of bodyguards. Although he subconsciously didn't want to make a big deal, Wei Hong was so arrogant that a person of his status and position had to accept the challenge, otherwise his status in the underworld would be in jeopardy, and it would be impossible for him to retire peacefully. Go and take Qinglan home today, and let Lao Gui and the others do it later. Nie Xingyuan closed his eyes slightly, and the majestic aura of a gangster overlord emanated from his body again. He coldly ordered, I want the kid surnamed Wei to die. In addition, if the Wei family wants to protect him, the Wei family will also be moved. Understood. The short-haired young man curled his lips excitedly. He quickly took out his mobile phone and prepared to call someone. However, he couldn't help but change his face as soon as he opened his mobile phone. The WeChat group rang, and the photo of Nie Qinglan being pressed in the urinal came into view. Fuck. The crew-haired young man was furious and gnashed his teeth, saying, Wei didn't show any mercy at all and directly posted the photo of the young lady being bullied on the campus forum. Now it has spread. So cruel. Nie Xingyuan's face suddenly darkened. This kind of character who does things to the extreme right away is really like Mr. Wei. As long as he provokes the enemy, he will do his best to kill the other party. It seems that this matter can't be resolved peacefully. What a bullshit, I have to peel his skin myself. The crew-haired young man growled secretly. Chapter 49. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Breaking news. The big sister of number 13 middle school transferred to Xingrui High School, still did not forget the campus bullying, and was killed in the end and had to drink urine miserably. A hot headline suddenly appeared. Although Nie Xingyuan asked someone to delete the post in a very short time, however, the content and photos in the post were still screenshotted and reposted by many students. It began to circulate in major WeChat groups and student groups. Nie Qinglan has offended countless people in recent years because of her domineering behavior. Now seeing her being defeated, many people naturally celebrated secretly and tried their best to add insult to injury. In less than half a day, the photos became known to everyone in the junior and senior high schools in Jiangzhou City. Oh my god, this is the big sister of number 13 middle school. Doesn't she have a strong background and many followers? Can she attract hundreds of people with just a wave of her hand? Who dares to provoke such a ruthless person? Are you crazy? You don't know yet, many students in Xinrui High School are either rich or noble. She has provoked an even more powerful boss. Oh my God, she was forced to drink urine in the urinal. Our awesome sister Lan has also suffered this day. Ha ha ha, sprinkle flowers, such a good thing must be celebrated, that the students talked about it. The teachers didn't dare to intervene when they learned about this situation. After all, neither party is a good person. If they really intervene to deal with campus bullying, they will get themselves into trouble. Therefore, they can only let the incident ferment. When Nie Xingyuan arrived at the school with bodyguards, Wei Hong, Wei Sheng, Nie Qinglan and others were already sitting in the principal's office. It had been less than a month since the last time they came to the principal's office. Looking at these arrogant young men, Principal Lu felt extremely tired. Bang! That the bodyguard pushed the door open fiercely. Nie Xingyuan and his men walked in a mighty manner. Principal Lu hurriedly greeted them and said with a smile on his face, "Mr. Nie, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. Please sit down first, let's have a good chat." "No need." Nie Xingyuan glanced and saw Nie Qinglan, who was beaten with a swollen nose and face, exuding a strong smell of urine, and with gauze wrapped on his head. He knew that this matter had little to do with the school. After all, he had figured out the matter before coming. It was clear that his daughter had bullied her classmates on the first day she transferred to the school. Wei Hong fought back too much, and finally caused such a big incident. "We didn't come here to discuss who was right or wrong today." Nie Xingyuan looked at Wei Hong with cold eyes, curled his lips and smiled softly. "My dear nephew, you are so brave. Go home and eat and drink. When you are full, you won't be a starving ghost when you see your grandfather in the future. Do you think I dare to do things so drastically without any bargaining chips?" Wei Hong leaned on the sofa with a smile, and his every move showed the demeanor of a big boss. His eyes swept around, and almost no one dared to look at him. Nie Xingyuan immediately realized that something was wrong. Before entering the door, he could blame everything on Wei Hong's youthful impetuosity, but now he dare not underestimate the enemy. Is it really just because of impulse that the other party dared to do things so drastically? Something is wrong, it is quite wrong. A young man should not be so calm and composed. What trump card does he have to be so rampant? Young man, no matter what cards you have, this matter will not be easy to get away with. Nie Xingyuan warned coldly, "Be careful, you will always pay the price for doing wrong." "That's right." Wei Hong nodded in agreement, raised his hand with a smile and said, "Let's make a bet. In half a month, the Nie family will be wiped out." Half a month. Nie Xingyuan was stunned and then chuckled. In the office, Principal Lu, Ji Peng and others also twitched their mouths. Obviously no one would take this sentence seriously. Everyone would just think Wei Hong was crazy. After causing a big disaster, he still said harsh words to save face. "Brother, don't be like this." Wei Xing deliberately said, "My parents taught us to be kind to others. You bullied Sister Lan today and wanted to provoke a fight between Uncle Nie and Wei's group. Isn't this not good?" Nie Xingyuan was indeed led astray by him, and said with a mocking look, "I thought you had some trump card, but it turns out that you want to rely on Wei's group. Ridiculous. Even if Wei Jiaoyang came to protect you today, don't even think that I will give him half a face." "Really?" Wei Hong curled his lips, raised his chin slightly, and said, "Recognize the face in front of you. This is the culprit who hooked up with your daughter and made her crazy and provoked me. Remember to settle accounts with him when your family is broken in the future." Nie Xingyuan's expression changed slightly. He squinted his eyes and looked at Wei Sheng, and there was already a trace of disgust on his face. "Dad, this is my lifesaver," Nie Qinglan said hoarsely. "He is now the adopted son of the Wei family." Nie Xingyuan glared at her unhappily, but now is not the time to say anything else. He with an expressionless face, he turned around and walked away with his bodyguards. Before leaving, Nie Qinglan made a throat-cutting gesture towards Wei Hong. Although he didn't say anything more, his intention was very obvious. She had never suffered such a crime since she was a child. She had never suffered such humiliation, so Wei Hong must die. "What should I do, brother? Master Nie is really angry." Wei Xing continued to stir up trouble, pretending to be anxious and said, "How about I talk to Dad and ask him to find someone to plead for you? If Master Nye really makes trouble for you, a few bodyguards can't stop him. Don't act in front of me, get out of here." Wei Hong frowned impatiently. Wei Xing wanted to say more. Ji Peng and Xia Sisi had already stopped him. "Xiao Xing, don't be too kind. He treats you like this, why should you consider him? That's right, this kind of person wants to die, he deserves it. Let's go, Director Wei will definitely not save him, let him suffer." Several people sneered and persuaded. Wei Xing pretended to be sad and turned around, but in a place where no one could see, he curled his lips and smiled provocatively, as if laughing at his overestimation. At this moment, people on campus were talking about this matter everywhere. In the circle of the second generation of rich and officials in Jiangzhou, they were all discussing it fiercely. Everyone seemed to have reached a consensus Wei Hong would definitely die. There were even many people who secretly opened a bet, betting that he would be secretly killed in a few days. Only Song Gui and other students in the competition class rushed to the principal's office anxiously. When Wei Hong came out, they all cast concerned eyes. "Study God, are you okay? Is there anything we can do? If it weren't for us, you wouldn't have gotten into this kind of trouble. Why don't we call the police? A society ruled by law won't really cause death, right?" Song Gui and others surrounded him with apologetic faces. Wei Hong waved his hand and said, "Why are you worrying about this? This matter has nothing to do with you. If I hadn't implicated you, you wouldn't have been bullied. Go back and do your homework. I can solve the problem myself." "Brother Wei, are you really okay?" Song Gui was still a little worried. Wei Hong patted his shoulder and said calmly, "Don't worry. I've always been the one to deal with others. How can a few rats in the gutter run rampant in a harmonious society?" Song Gui. Chapter 50. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the afternoon, a large number of spirited young men and young girls gathered at the gate of Xingrui High School. They rode ghost-fire motorcycles and hid steel pipe machetes in their sleeves. They kept gathering at the school gate from all directions, attracting countless people's attention. Obviously, these people came from number 13 middle school. They knew that the big sister Nye Qinglan was abused in Xingrui. They felt that they had lost face, so they called their friends to come and get back at the place. Under pressure, the school decisively called the police. Police cars were urgently dispatched. Both sides pushed and cursed at the school gate, and it seemed to turn into a riot. When school was over, all the students of Xingrui High School were frightened by this scene, and they were all blocked in the school gate and dared not go out. Only Wei Hong's motorcade appeared in a mighty manner, following the road that everyone made way for, and drove out of the school gate in a swagger. "Pay attention." The bodyguard captain held up the walkie-talkie and warned, "There are a lot of people at the school gate. Be careful of someone taking action. Everyone should be on high alert. Don't be nervous." Wei Hong said indifferently, "Nye Xingyuan is not stupid enough to take action in public. These people were not called by the father and daughter. They are just some little hooligans who believe everything they hear. The police are helping us clear the way." The bodyguard captain glanced at the situation outside and asked, "These little hooligans and little gangsters are very excited. They have been yelling and cursing to stop the car. The police seem to be short of manpower. What should we do if we are besieged later? This kind of thing is not easy to deal with. If a fight really breaks out, the 12 bodyguards will fight 10 people at once. There are police around to maintain order, so there is no need to worry about safety. The only thing to worry about is that someone will be killed in the chaos. If things get bigger and bigger, it will be difficult to end. Don't get out of the car and clash with them." Wei Hong rubbed his eyebrows and said, "If you really encounter someone trying to stop the car, just hit them directly. At most, you can say that the car is out of control and pay some money." "Understood," the bodyguard captain nodded. He quickly gave the order through the intercom. Soon, the convoy drove out of the school gate. On both sides were little ruffians and little girls who heard the news. They kept smoking and cursing. Even if the sound insulation of the Bentley was good, Wei Hong heard a lot of dirty words. Finally, someone in the crowd couldn't help but take action. All kinds of bricks, steel pipes, and gravel were thrown out like raindrops. 5 cars were smashed with bangs. However, the bulletproof car was made of high-quality steel and bulletproof glass, so even if the bricks hit the car body, it would only make white spots at most, and it would not cause any damage at all. Fuck you, you dare to touch our big sister, you little brat, you want to die, right? Is it great to be rich? I'll kill you, get down. Fuck, why are you hiding, you coward? That the little hooligans cursed and provoked fiercely. Many people were already blocking the front of the convoy in excitement. Crash. Wei Hong ordered. Understood. The bodyguard captain held up the walkie-talkie and ordered, crash. Boom, the drivers of the 5 cars stepped on the accelerator and accelerated. The Hummer SUV in the front rushed forward at lightning speed. Fuck. Fuck, be careful, that the little hooligans shouted and avoided. In the end, the Hummer SUV slowed down slightly and did not cause any casualties, but it also easily cleared a passage, and no one dared to block the front of the convoy. In the evening, Wei Hong returned to the villa leisurely. As soon as he entered the room, he saw Wei Jiaoyang and Du Sihui sitting at the dining table with angry faces. Wei Xing pretended to be worried and sighed beside him. There was also Wei Qingqing, who had just returned from the Magic City, at the dining table. Evil son, kneel down. But when Wei Jiaoyang saw him enter the room, he habitually picked up the teacup and smashed it on the ground, scolding him with spit flying. Who told you to offend Nie Xingyuan? How dare you offend him? Do you want to drag your whole family to die together? Mr. Wei, you should know what our relationship is. Wei Hong frowned and turned to sit on the sofa, crossed his legs and said, although we are still father and son in name, in fact, the only thing missing is that I will sever the relationship after I become an adult, so please don't act like a big shot in front of me, understand? You? It was only then that Wei Jiaoyang remembered that they were not on good terms. Feeling embarrassed and ashamed, he said stubbornly, even if you don't recognize me as your father, you and I are still father and son in the eyes of outsiders. Now that such a big thing has happened, do we, the Wei group, have to take the blame for you? I don't need you to take the blame for anything that happens to me. Wei Hong fiddled with his nails nonchalantly and said indifferently, besides, this matter was caused by your dear adopted son. Even if Nie Xingyuan and I are fighting to the death, with his relationship with Nie Qinglan, this matter has nothing to do with you. Why are you pretending to be so high and mighty? Wei Jiaoyang was speechless, his old face flushed red, and he could only snort coldly in the end, I want to see how capable you are. How can you get through this without relying on the Wei family? Xiaohong, don't be too stubborn. Du Sihui couldn't help but persuade, how can a family have overnight hatred? Your father is a sharp tongue but a soft heart. Now that you have encountered such a thing, we are also anxious. How can we watch you get into trouble? Yes, big brother, my parents don't know how anxious they are. Wei Xing also said sarcastically, why don't you apologize to your parents, and we will think of a solution together. If it doesn't work, our whole family will apologize to Uncle Nie, even if we have to kneel down in public to solve the problem. Ha! Wei Hong's mouth curled up with a hint of mockery. He was too lazy to care about these people's faces, no matter whether they were kind or malicious. He didn't want to have anything to do with these people anymore. Auntie Wang, send dinner to the 2nd floor. Wei Hong casually ordered, turned around and walked upstairs. Wei Qingqing frowned and scolded, stop, what's your attitude? Don't you even want to sit down and eat together as a family? What are you pretending for? Wei Hong stopped, curled his lips and sneered, do you really think I don't know what you talked about in the loving family group? Do you want me to print out the chat records and stick them on your faces? You don't want to give me face, right? What's wrong with you? Wei Qingqing's face changed drastically. Wei Jiaoyang and Du Sihui also looked unhappy. They looked at each other, and they all felt embarrassed as if they were caught talking bad about someone behind their back. That was just nonsense from your father. He was angry at the time. Du Sihui hurriedly explained with a wry smile, it's not your fault that you've been angry with him. We have an inseparable blood relationship. No matter how ugly the quarrel is, you should be more tolerant. Sit down and have dinner together. No need. Wei Hong sneered and turned around. Looking at you makes me feel sick, disgusting. Wei Jiaoyang and his wife were angry again. Wei Qingqing was a little disappointed. She realized that she hadn't been back for a while. Why did Wei Hong's relationship with his family become like this? What happened to him?